Hello everybody. So I'm going to share some thoughts. Just need to kind of unload some thoughts really. Um, I haven't been doing many videos just lately, and I'll tell you why. Is to be honest, I've become a little bit bored. Right? I've been bored of following the news, and I'm bored of failed predictions, and it's getting really difficult to anticipate the moves of the elites. It's getting increasingly difficult to anticipate um, where we're going and the direction we're going in and what's around the corner. You know, I think it used to be easy, but it's got harder. And I've explained this in a previous video I did. How the tactics of the elites have changed, and they have had to get smarter. I mean, they were always smart, right? They've always gotten away with murder, literally, right? And now they are just like on their toes, and there's not a lot that goes unnoticed because of the age that we live in, the age of information and freedom of information, and the vast sea of knowledge through the internet, and the media everywhere, and alternative media. It's just difficult, and people piece the jigsaw pieces together and join the dots, and they are aware of this. So there's disinformation, and they're leading us down the garden path and distracting us with things that aren't going to come about. This has been proved through Comet Elenin, YE55, what else? The New Madrid quake that never happened when we thought it was going to happen. Japan sliding into the sea. The list goes on. It's quite a lengthy list of things that were very carefully and intelligently anticipated based on the things that was fed to us by the mainstream media. It's a game, right? So anyway, we've been led astray and made to look stupid, alright? And and like I said in the previous video, if the Illuminati, elites, whatever you want to call them, right, if they're going to do something bad, right, if there's going to be an event, okay, that's going to change the world, okay, like a 9/11 type event, 9/11 or equivalent, be it, so-called natural disaster or a terrorist attack or whatever, right, it will catch us all by surprise. We're not going to know about it in advance, okay? If you Google or YouTube something and you get information on something about to happen that's around the corner supposedly, no matter all the bits and pieces you join up and add together, and it's I've concluded it's not going to happen, but they want us to think that it will, but it won't. Well, it might. Maybe it will now. Maybe because there's been so many failed predictions, and maybe we've been, brainwashed into thinking particular things are going a particular way, and then they haven't. So therefore, we become, disillusioned with trying to anticipate things. And then something very obvious does happen, but no one's looking for it because we've lost faith in our ability to anticipate things. So maybe it will. It's all a mind game. Yeah. Okay, but here's what I want to get on to, right? This, because I've talked about this before, right? So let's move on. So I've come to think just lately, okay, I was a fanatic for following the news, okay? Following the news, joining the dots, putting two and two together, okay, piecing it all together, trying to make something of it all, trying to make sense of it all, okay? But it just dawned on me, why? You know? Because, you know, it can be time consuming. And you know what? There's more to do, you know? So I'm struggling at the moment. Now this is just how I feel at the moment. I might take a notion at any time that I want to follow a particular news piece and dig and delve into it a bit. I probably will. But right now, this is how I feel right now. I'm thinking, you know, what is the what you know, where are we going individually and as a collective human race, you know? And does following the news help very much? Well, I think somewhat. It's good to be aware what's going on, but you know, we can just create our own realities, you know? And I've just been given a lot of thought lately into creating my own reality. What reality do I want for my life? What kind of reality do I want for my family, for my child? What kind of existence, you know? And I don't like this world, okay? I don't like the system that this world, this planet, I mean, this is a beautiful planet, but the system that runs it is shit. And but it's my planet, so is it then my responsibility to make it how I want it? Yeah, it is. And so, you know, I'm thinking, well, the problem, right, so you've got the Occupy movement, yeah, and it's all with good intention, and it's people passionate and wanting to take action and, you know, and do something, you know, because they're at their wits' end of this, you know, in this crazy world. But, you know, I think the problem with humanity is the fact that we are totally dependent on the systems that run our lives. And, you know, if we want to rebel against the system and do away with the system, what we need to do is not depend on the system anymore. We need to become independent. But to become independent, we need to become interdependent. Interdependent upon each other, right? On an equal basis, right? Without government, okay? Without systems, certainly without a monetary system, or if there must be a monetary system, a real one, not a make-believe one like there currently is, numbers on a computer screen, not backed by anything, right? No gold, no silver to account for all the trillions and trillions of pounds, dollars, whatever, you know? It's just numbers that mean nothing, you know? I was watching that, what do you call it? Thrive documentary, absolutely brilliant. Everyone's got to watch it. You've got to watch it, you know? Because they made a good point in that. I mean, they made loads of good points. It really is a fantastic documentary. You really should watch it. But yeah, a few things stood in my mind. You know, I mean, one thing they said is that, you know, the banks just print money, right? If you can call it that. They just print pieces of paper that they call money, right? It's not. You add it all up, there isn't the resources to back it up. It's just paper. Right, so really they're counterfeiting money then, aren't they, really? Okay. But if we counterfeit money, if I counterfeit money, I'll go to jail. It's a crime. But the banks can do it. Or the bankers, I should say. You know? So anyway, we need to become non-dependent, right? Think of it like this, okay? If you were thrown into the forest, okay, like if we go back to basics, okay, whereby you know, you're thrown into the forest and you've got to be warm, fed, dry, you know, the basic needs for survival. Can you survive? Well, the answer is most of us wouldn't, myself included. Okay, we depend on everything that is provided for us, and because we depend, we then have to, we're owned. We have to abide by everything that is imposed upon us, right? And even things that aren't like cast iron law upon us, you know, just all these little expectations of us, you know. Who wants to get up every day and work 9 to 5, you know, 48 weeks a year, you know, 5 days a week, you know, and you're sleeping for 8 hours a day, yeah, you're working for 8 hours a day, so 8 hours a day, and in those 8 hours a day that is your time, you're paying your bills, you're cleaning your house, cleaning your car, getting yourself ready for the 8 hours work shift you've got, you know, it kind of sucks. So what is the purpose of life? You know, and I was thinking about the purpose of life, and do you know what I think it is? Okay, because like I thought that my personal pursuit in life was to gain loads of knowledge. You know, I love learning, and I didn't learn in school. I didn't do shit at school. I left with nothing. Yeah, because you know what you like as a child. You know, you don't pay attention. You know, I was one of those, and I like. But anyway, so yeah, the past 10 or so years, I've just like soaking it all up, and I'm like researching and reading loads of shit and learning loads of shit, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's interesting, and I watch documentaries, and you know, it's good. It's all good. And it's fun and it's pleasurable to do that. But you know what? What does knowledge do for you really? Okay. Yeah, we don't need loads of knowledge. Knowledge on its own isn't very useful. It's useful if you're trying to build something or make something, you know, work something. I don't know. But it really, it's not knowledge on its own. You know, you have to apply knowledge. And there's plenty of people with knowledge. We don't need you to be knowledgeable, right? Because like there's tons of people on this planet, yeah, and there's always going to be someone who knows it better than you, and they can do the job better than you and me. Okay. So yeah, knowledge is good, but you know what our pursuit in life ought to be, I think, is happiness. You know, the pursuit of happiness. That's what I reckon. Alright, now I've talked about my cats in the past, and by the way, I don't have my cats anymore. We got rid of them. Long story, but you know. Anyway, I won't go into it. It's a long story, but I don't have cats anymore. Okay, but I talked about my cats because I used to learn off my cats. And the same with dogs, all your pets. You know, if any of you got pets, look at your pets, right? They don't give a fuck, do they? They really don't. They don't. They are happy. You know, they don't have any knowledge, or maybe they do. I mean, how would we know? But they're content. They're happy, and they're simple. You know. And yes, they are dependent, just like we are dependent on our masters, right? They're dependent on us, but that's not the point, okay? Because like, they don't have to be. I mean, they could walk away any time, couldn't they? But the point I'm trying to make is like they don't get anxious and trying to, you know, pursue loads of endeavours in their lives. They don't try and pursue anything. They don't watch the news. They don't do degrees. They don't do anything. They're just happy and content and simple. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.